I don't think she needs to.
You're live.
All right, we're good,
We're all set? It's
Live.
6:02, call to order the October 14th, 2024 DDA Board of Directors meeting. Can we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Jerry, can we do a roll call? Attendance?
Stelford,
Here.
Raska,
Here.
Eric,
Here.
Winkelmeyer. Here. Delaney,
Here.
Elliott, Tuxi.
Here. Dave asked to be excused, he's out of town. Can I entertain a motion to excuse him from this meeting?
Motion to accept is.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, before you, you have the minutes from the September meeting. Were there any additions, deletions?
I have an addition.
Yes.
It would probably go under new business. I am looking for a budget approval for holiday lighting.
Oh, this is for the minutes though of last
Oh,
month.
sorry.
Wrong place.
Wrong place,
Right
sorry.
time, wrong place.
I love the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are approved from September. Okay, on to the agenda approval.
Now I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. New business, holiday lighting.
Okay.
And well,
Do we have to have a separate motion for each addition or deletion?
I believe yes, and I believe we need at least a voice vote, Mr. Walker,
Yes.
to amend the agenda.
Okay,
Or, I mean, we could combine.
okay. Let's go ahead and add both of them and then we'll take a roll call.
Right. And then under old business, I would move to add discussion of the recommendation process for open board seats.
Okay. Do we have a motion to amend the agenda with those two items?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the agenda will be amended as discussed. Financial report. You have in your package the financial report with the beginning balance for September being $449,206.60, and the ending balance $406,106.30. Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
Motion to approve the financial report as presented.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion on the financial report? No? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So with financial report, typically you
The
do a
roll call? Got it, thank you. Can you give us a roll call?
We do? I don't remember that.
Tuxi,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Winkelmeyer. Yes. Delaney,
Yes.
Stelford,
Yes.
Raska.
Yes.
Okay. Financial report is approved. Next on the agenda, we have public comments for items that are on the agenda. Do we have anybody from the audience that would like to speak to items on the agenda? No, hearing none. We'll move on to new business. The first item under new business is the new DDA director hiring process, and I just wanted to give an update on where we are with regards to that. We have had the job posting out on the MML site for about a month now, or coming up on a month. We also have it out on some of the Oakland County sites. We have received a number of applications. One just arrived to me today. I was going to suggest that we might want to extend the MML, but I'm thinking with this latest one, we might want to actually start doing the interview process. So the next step is to form a committee of a few members that would like to be part of that process, and that is keeping in line with what the recommendations were from the Main Street organization. That's how they suggested that we proceed to start the interview process. And the hope is that we would be able to get somebody on board here, you know, if not the end of the year, the first of next year. Any questions on that?
How many applications have you received?
I think I have about 6 or 7 of them.
Great.
Yep.
I see that name. I know her.
You know her.
We know her
Visited
well.
her.
Good,
Her
bad,
TV.
and different?
Great.
Very good.
Yeah.
A rock star.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of excited about that one.
I
I'd be
just saw
very
the name
excited.
And I was like, oh, yes, very much a rock star.
Yeah.
And then do we make our recommendation to the village, right?
Yes.
Council, okay, and then they
Yes.
have the final.
Yes.
Okay.
So just as far as the employment contract, the hiring of the individual is the DDA board's prerogative.
We don't have to take it to council?
The council has to approve.
Approve it.
Okay.
The contract? Okay,
Not the person.
okay. Good to know.
Does the council have input on the salary amount?
It's based on recommendation from the DDA board. The council will not come in and change the salary as long as you're within your approved budget amounts. You may need to amend your budget depending upon what salary you negotiate.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, good to know. Next under new business is the holiday lighting that just was added. Jerome, would you like to say that?
Yes. Been following up with the gentleman, it's the same gentleman that we've used in the past, St. Nick's Holiday Lighting. He and I met, we did a walk through the village, and it's always known that each year it's going to be a little bit more just because the trees grow. And so we need to ramp up the lighting. To mimic what was done in 2023 and already approved in our budget is the 10-5, which I have a side note is there's a $2,000 credit because the DDA lets us borrow the lift, which they dented last year. And so there's 4 trees south of the tracks that are be added this year at no additional cost in lieu of that.
Only 4?
That's my knowledge. The 10-5 covers Battle Alley, the main drag, the big tree at the park, the gazebo roof line, and additional lights and warranty. Okay? What I am asking for is the approval of some additional lighting this year, which we can agree to or disagree to, and that is the 18 trees at Ganshaw Park that are along there. There's always been the discussion that the DDA only focuses on downtown, so I'm trying to spread the holiday love north a little bit. The 18 trees in Ganshaw Park, the 4 trees downtown that needed power added to them that didn't have last year, and the 2 potted trees that have been added to Battle Alley. And that would need custom power lines ran to it from the lighting that's already above head. That additional fee would be $4,500, which I'm seeking approval for. And if we wish, this is the big stretch. Going north further, after reviewing the situation, there are 3 large trees by the roadside in front of Alga Credit Union. And there are 2 large pine trees by the entrance of Holly Foods. And there's a little bit more involved with that process, so in asking for additional funds, I would like it to be more up to, because I'm hopeful and optimistic about the far north end, but I'm not sure it can happen in the proper timeline, because it involves seeking permission from the owners of the plaza and getting an electrical contractor to put an electrical outlet by their sign out by the road in order to plug the trees in. So there's a little bit more there. And that additional fee for that far north section is $6,700. So that would bring the total lighting for the season to $21,700, which is a substantial increase, I do understand. My personal opinion is I would like approval for not to exceed that, knowing that more than likely, we're probably just gonna be adding the 4,500 this year.
That 4,500 includes those 18 trees in Ganshaw Park?
Correct.
They're
Okay.
small.
That's a lot of trees.
So
That's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money
Well,
for lights.
Sound like
Can
a lot of
you
money.
talk a little bit about their structure on how they want to change to their pricing to the?
Well, I talked to him further about that since you and I spoke, and
Okay.
it doesn't really affect us that much. The company itself is changing their structure to a leasing situation. It actually is something I'm more familiar with, having dealt with commercial lighting in the past. And what that means is that you lease the lights, you don't buy the lights. That means that if throughout the season a tree goes out, they come out and replace it and fix it, and it's a warranty basically, and that's why they're switching to a leasing thing.
does
on
this
their
price
contract.
include the lease?
Yes,
Are we previously the 10.5, does that include a lease too?
yes, all of it,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I guess to clarify, I'm asking
Not to exceed.
not to exceed 21,700 for
Okay.
holiday lighting.
And trying to get Holly Foods, that would be amazing. What a nice touch.
And just, they're going to be an attempt to maybe see if they would participate in a
I
little
am
bit of
going,
that?
I have a call in and have not connected yet with the Alga Credit Union to see if there might be some sponsorship dollar opportunities there to help with the subsidizing of that lighting.
Okay.
And I haven't spoken to the owner of the plaza yet.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'm always spending money, I don't, let somebody else do it.
What if we just went to Ganshaw Park this year?
We can take
And made
baby
our-
steps.
Put our feelers out for the north end next year.
We could,
But, 20-some thousand bucks is quite a chunk of change. I'm not sure if you want to make that big step.
And look for some sponsorship money.
I'm in favor of small steps, if you want to go out to Ganshaw, I kind of like that idea. It's up to everybody.
I like that
Everybody gets a
idea.
vote.
I like that idea too,
why
Jen.
don't you make that motion and let's see how it flies?
I'll make the motion that we go the 10-5 and the 4-5 for Ganshaw Park.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any discussion further?
I think it's a
Hearing
great,
none? Can we get a roll call,
Step.
Jerry?
Yeah, give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Or another way we could do it is do the 10-5 and the 4-5 for Ganshaw Park. And if Jerome makes contact with the people, the property owners in the north end, we could figure out who has the cost to put the electrical outlets in, and we could at least get the electrical outlets in for this year, for next year,
Right,
you know?
right.
So I'm not sure how we want to
Well, I think we can
proceed.
proceed with the
Yeah.
current motion.
Motion.
Okay.
And then if he needs to ask for more money, we can do that next month. Or
Okay.
he can take it out of some of his project costs that are already in the budget.
All right,
Does that sound good?
yep. My
Okay.
motion stands for the two.
Okay.
Eric,
Yes.
Wingemeyer,
Yes,
Delaney,
Yes.
Stauffer,
Yes.
Raska,
Yes.
Huxley.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, moving on to old business. We have the addition of a discussion and recommendation on the process for filling our open board seats. We currently have two, one business and one citizen at large. Do you want to open the discussion on that, Ryan?
Sure, absolutely. So I believe it was at our last meeting when Mr. Raska asked if it would be a possibility if the DDA board could create a process by which the board or a committee of the board could interview and vet candidates for open seats on the DDA board, and then possibly even make a recommendation to the village president for appointment to those seats. Obviously, ultimately, that decision is in the hand of the village president and council, since per charter, it's the president and council who appoints members to the board. But personally, I think it's a fine idea to put some sort of process like that in place. I've always been of the attitude, consult widely and then make your own decision, right? I think whatever that process ends up looking like, I think we should keep two things in mind. Number one being, I think it is best to be as specific as possible with what that process looks like, to sort of ensure that everything remains consistent and fair.
Yes.
And then also, just to remember that ultimately, a recommendation is a recommendation, and the decision-making ultimately lies with the president and council. But beyond that, I'm open to anybody's suggestions as to what that process might look like.
I appreciate the willingness, to at least explore this process and to put some structure behind it. We are looking for certain skill sets on the board, especially during this time when we don't have a DDA director, and we're asking our board and committees to step up and really kind of take some of the responsibilities that the director would have had. I think it's important to make sure we have people on the board that can do that. So I appreciate that. And is there any other discussion? Yes, sir.
First of all, I think we need job descriptions. I need to know what a board or director person is,
We have that?
what do we want them to be?
Yep.
And there's two different positions, because one is a board position, not that they're not both board positions, but the other one represents the residents.
Yes.
So that's a different parameter, in my opinion. I don't know if that's the way everyone feels, but I think it is. And so we should probably have two different job descriptions. What are we looking for from a resident? Where does that resident have to come from? Do they have to live within the DDA proper, or are they just from the village of Holly? I don't know what any rules are at this point. I'm new to this, but whatever those are, I think we should vet those out and figure it out and get a, like you said, keep it a nice, clean cut description on what that is. Once we get that part in place, I'd like to see it that we post the available positions so that people are aware that they're even available, because I think that's been a struggle in the past. We haven't really made it aware, and unless you're in the DDA circle, if you will.
I think
We
it's
didn't
been in the
always know.
newsletter, the village newsletter too. I've seen a couple.
It has been, yes.
But could that be broader? Because I don't know that everyone reads the village newsletter.
Sure.
I know as a business owner, sometimes I struggle with that.
We all do.
So, I'm just saying,
Sure.
could there be other avenues?
Sure.
Because obviously,
Sure.
the best thing about this is once we have job descriptions, we want to get as many qualified applicants as possible. Then, once we collect the applications, I would say the board of directors needs to review those and have a quick rating system on how we feel they fit the needs of the board at that time. And then, once we come up with an answer on who we're recommending, then we can present that to the council president for possible approval.
Okay, if we do review the applicants as a board, it does have to be an open meeting. And so as long as nobody has any concern about that, I'm just pointing that out versus whether you had a small committee do it.
My question is that the Main Street, is that how they've always, I'm thinking that different municipalities and different DDA boards have their own way of how they recommend board members. This is just what's in our bylaws, correct? So I'd be curious what other municipalities, I feel like we're rewriting our bylaws, like just kind of taking a poll of how other municipalities or other DDA boards, how they work, just to see what their structure is. I'd be curious.
We could research that, find out.
Just out of curiosity's sake.
Are you interested to see what their process is?
Yes.
And how they fill the positions?
Older DDAs, I know we have a smaller budget, but we can still have the same type of bylaws.
Sure.
And the way that our protocols are put together. Just curious.
Okay.
Main Street's there for us to ask these questions, so.
Yes.
It might not be a bad idea to have a committee of the board do this work because it would be a smaller and less intimidating atmosphere because, you know, I'm just thinking it's hard enough to find people who are willing to volunteer for appointed positions
Right.
on our various boards and commissions in town. If we can lower that,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, we're bringing them up here in front of the whole board, and anybody that's in the audience and the public, sit right there and let's interview them, it is kind of intimidating.
Sure.
And it's a volunteer position on a board, it's not like it's a paid staff position.
Yeah.
Like it-
and I was thinking if we were to go that route, and this is a question, I'm going through some of the committees in my head. I don't know if we already have a committee that it would kind of be a natural fit for that committee to do that kind of work.
Probably
Or if it was-
organization.
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
Oh, and who's in charge of the organization?
Oh.
Me.
One more thing on your plate. One more thing on your plate.
Okay, thanks,
Linda's like,
Ryan.
thanks, Ryan.
Just thankful it's not on
Add it to the list. Add it to the list.
I actually have a committee meeting this week, and so we'll get started on that.
Okay.
And then we'll bring it back to the board.
Perfect.
Okay. Let's move on to public comment. Do we have any public comments? Yes, Hannah?
I don't know if this works.
Everything works.
Anna Madsen, 15091 Western Valley. I thanked you guys privately, Linda and Jerome, but I just wanted to do it publicly too. You guys have really taken on a lot, and you guys are just doing incredible, going to trainings and everything, and really filling in for the DDA director role. So I just really appreciate all the work you guys are doing, and I know it's not just me. I'm hearing a lot of compliments around town too. So you guys are doing an incredible job. Now, moving on, in terms of committees, just keep in mind that committees can't make decisions, they can only
Right.
make recommendations. I feel like it's good to have the committee do like the interviews or whatnot for positions on this board. I do disagree with having the committee do interviews for the DDA director. I just think that's something that the entire board should be a part of for those interviews. And those interviews do have to be done in the public, so just make sure that's done at a public meeting regardless. But I just think it's important because all of you guys would be the employer of the DDA director.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I have one more thing. I'm sorry. I don't know if it'll work, but I often use solar panel Christmas lights. They're not as bright, but they work. They're like 25 bucks. And so if you're worried about outlets, it's super convenient. You just wrap them around, and then there's a little solar panel that hangs from the tree. You don't even see it. They're automatic, so they turn on at night. Like I said, they're not as bright, but they get the job done. I use them every year, and I don't have to worry about extension cords. So that could be a very cheap option just to try out, you know, especially, I know we're going to do the commercial ones in Ganshaw Park, but especially those small trees, it works really well. So I just want to throw that out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
That's a good point.
Hearing none, we'll move on to committee reports. And you'll notice on the agenda, I gave you a little tickler under each committee
love
report.
that. Oh, love that.
So, I know Dave isn't here, but maybe, Jerome, you can talk a little bit about the property showcase?
Yeah, under economic vitality, there's a
Yes.
property showcase that Oakland County's having this Friday. And they invited different municipalities to participate. Basically, it's kind of a trade show, if you will. Every municipality that wants to be part of it gets a table, and then you can set it up however you want. You can have representation. You could just send flyers, whatever you want to do. But Holly and I have committed to going and attending and representing the Village of Holly. And we're going to promote vacant properties that we have available in our community. The invitation list at this is investment companies, investors, and real estate brokers. So it's just basically to get our name out in front of everyone and say, hey, we're Holly and we're awesome and you should come open your business here.
Love it.
So that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
Thank you for doing that.
Design.
That would be me. Fall decorations, had a lot of helping hands on that. Linda helped with getting them and securing them. Karen Bard was very instrumental in helping pick things up and helping us too, as well as many other people. Linda posted it on social media. We had helping hands. We put up the corn stalks, we put in the mum plants, we put the strail bales and the pumpkins around town. Looks very festive. Shout out for some additional funding to complete the job from Winkelmeyer Furniture, which we greatly appreciate. And so that got done, and we're getting a lot of favorable comments on that. We set up a little photo op station in Battle Alley, and people seem to be enjoying it. I saw a whole bridal party sitting on the hay bales this past
Great.
weekend and stuff. So that was good. The lamppost light install, that was a whole nother opportunity because we had the lampposts painted this past end of summer, first of fall. And because of that, we removed all the twinkle lights that were on there. And we did not get them reinstalled prior to the cornstalk installation. So just so everyone's on high alert and no one goes into freak mode, the
No.
fall / Halloween decorations are coming down on Monday, on the following Halloween. So they'll actually come down before Halloween. So please don't freak out. The reason for that is we want to get the twinkle lights up on the poles, and that allows that week for DPW to put the lights back up on the poles so that the town is lit and looking fabulous for Ladies Weekend Out, which starts on Friday. And so it's a very big time crunch this year because of the way the calendar falls. So that's why that's going on. And then the holiday lights we already spoke of, and they are actually starting the installation of the holiday lights. They're going to start in the downtown area, again with the intention of getting up as many as they can prior to Ladies Weekend Out. They'll be starting installation tomorrow.
Question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you are the Dickens Festival, I forgot what your title is, I apologize.
I don't even know.
He
The
heads the
head
board.
honcho. When are they installing the Christmas tree? Do you know?
The Christmas tree currently is scheduled for installation on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, no, I
Wait.
take that back. I lied, sorry. Installation of the tree is on Thursday, the week prior to Thanksgiving week.
It's the 21st.
Okay.
And that because it has to be lit and decorated and everything, and that all has to be done prior to Thanksgiving.
Okay, just checking.
And then we do the lighting at the end of the lighted parade on the day after Thanksgiving.
I just didn't know if you changed it up because of the holiday lights. We're gonna take down the fencing and make sure you're ready to go up right after Ladies' Night. Okay,
Nope,
That gives you a lot of time.
that's what it is.
perfect.
And Brian and I have been in communication in regards to the actual tree. So we're working on that.
Okay, good,
It's a process.
wonderful. Promotions, I'll go next.
Yes.
Witches Night recap. I talked to several business owners. Everyone said they did have, it was a wonderful night. It was very busy. I felt that the street closure was really helpful. It felt a lot safer. We had a wedding going on. I was telling Holly that one of the bride had every guest come out and take a picture with a witch to win a prize and get a ticket and put it in a box. So they had fun with it and made the best of it. It was extremely busy downtown. It was fantastic. Everyone was having a good time. They were dressed up. It was festive. I thought it was fantastic. So
It was.
The weather was amazing.
It was.
that
It
really
was.
helped. And that's what everyone
It was
was saying too.
super
Like, this
helpful.
weather is perfect. So I think that really helped us as well. So another great one in the books. Ladies' Night. Before I talk about Ladies' Night, I know I asked this before, but we are co-sponsoring Harry Potter, correct? We're a co-sponsor, so that's coming up on the 25th.
Right.
So, which I think they're only going to shut the street down from Civic to Railroad.
I believe so. I'd have to look at the folder.
Okay.
My notes.
And I feel
Yes.
like that's just as busy as Witches Night, so we just need to
It
be
is.
aware. I think it's busier. So that's coming up, and then, of course, Ladies' Weekend with the Fantastic Friday kickoff. Bags have been ordered. We need our businesses to participate and get those forms in, and hopefully fill the bags up with some things. We have a promotions meeting next Monday, so we'll try to get organized and get that put together. But all in all, getting ready to kick it up. The Witches Night was the kickoff for our busy season, the downtown shopping, so.
So
bring it on.
promotions meeting is on the 21st?
Yes, always the third Monday
Okay. I don't have it here.
at the cafe,
Okay.
5:30.
5:30.
I'll post it
Okay.
too, as a little reminder.
Okay. And organization, I mentioned we do have a meeting on this Thursday, and we're going to begin the bylaw review, and we are going to take up this process for filling board seats. That's all I have. Village manager report?
No report.
No report today. And we don't have a DDA director report either, sorry. Any other board comments?
It looks like you've got some great candidates, at least the one I see right here. That's very
Yes,
exciting.
That is exciting.
I have a
Very
couple
exciting.
things.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if anyone in this room can answer it, but we need to get answers, and that is we're having severe issues with the trash compactors,
Yes.
Yes.
and don't know where we're at on that. Jerry, do you know anything about where we're at on that?
Well, I know Brian has been in discussions with the representatives at Priority, and I don't have an exact status. If I'd have known this was going to come up tonight, I would have asked him.
I literally just received a text from someone.
They left us
So
hanging.
That's why it came up.
Yeah, no problem. I throw that out just as a suggestion, not just for this topic, but really for all things involving the village.
Right.
If we know ahead of time, prior to meetings, we'll do
Right.
our best to provide the answers.
Yeah.
So,
Did they-
you know, I think-
So I guess my real question right now is from a business owner standpoint, who do we reach out to when there's an issue?
Oh, good.
The village.
Okay, because that is really, maybe we could post that at the compactors, because I don't think no one knows who to call or what to do. And it seems though, unfortunately, that sometimes these things arise on the weekends.
Yes.
So who do we call on a weekend? Because I will tell you that a local business got their backhoe and brought it over there and picked up all the trash because it was mounds and mounds
Overflowing.
and mounds of trash
Friday
around the
night.
compactor. and it was hauled away by a private individual.
In our dumpster.
In a
So is
dumpster.
the problem right now that they can't get into it, the code's not working?
Yeah, it was
That's one
full,
thing.
it wasn't just one, not operational, or it was full, and then I think they even called the Priority, is that the name of the
Right.
vendor, and they're like, nope, sorry, coming Monday. And they're like,
Yeah,
sorry.
the problem is the code's not even working. So
Yeah, something-
on the west side, I don't know about the east side one, but the west side one, it's just like it's dead.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's
We
full.
couldn't
I
let
don't know
that
what
trash
it does
sit
when
there.
it's full, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
we-
there's an issue, and it
Yeah.
needs to be resolved, because obviously, the problem is then trash just piles up, and before you know it, we're gonna have rodents and
I
who
feel like
knows
it's
what all.
still broken right now.
It is. I just
Okay.
got a text.
Okay,
Literally, just now,
Yeah.
5 minutes ago. So yes, it's still broken yet today, even though this was a week ago that this was conversed with them. And they said they were coming out on Monday last week to fix it. So we're a week in and it's still not fixed. So I guess all I'm asking is that we give some attention to it because it's a problem.
And especially with these events, and we're all
Yeah.
generating more trash anyway.
Right.
Done.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Any
Let us
other board
rant a little bit.
comments?
Do we have any updates on the train depot move?
So Director Clausen kind of took over Nick's point on that project. He has met with the movers from Wolf Movers, who is the company who's going to do the move. He has also met with an excavation company, which is going to dig the basement. And so he's in the process of getting the logistics done for the move. In that, there needs to be some renovation to the building itself. There has to be some supports added to it, some interior walls removed. I know this week, a construction company is in and removing those interior walls to get it ready.
Awesome.
Is there a timeline?
Just about to say that.
They don't have a timeline yet from the moving company.
Okay. Any other board comments? Ryan?
I would just like to say that it has been a pleasure working with all of you, and I am very proud of what this board has accomplished, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it takes our downtown next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
This isn't
Ryan.
your last meeting though, right?
This is my last DDA meeting.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Because the
Well,
next
thank
one's.
you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
we didn't even get a
Thank you.
cake.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Ryan, for your service. Okay,
That's right,
hearing
it's like
no
we
other
made it.
comments, it is 6:40, and we will call this meeting adjourned. Our next meeting, just to make note, is not the normal cadence because of Veterans Day. It will be Monday, November 18th, and I will be on vacation, so you'll